Comment down below where you're from, and if you've ever had a racist encounter in your neighborhood. I'd love to hear your story. Okay, buckle up, because you're about to hear a tale that's funnier than a goat in pajamas and more satisfying than watching a cat knock over a wine glass in slow motion. It all started with a smart lock, a picket fence, and the kind of suburban drama that makes you question why humans even decided to live near each other in the first place. My name's Marcus, and I'm what some people call a tech junkie. Okay, fine. I'm a full-blown gadget nerd. If it runs on Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, or coffee, chances are I own two versions of it. So when I moved into a pristine gated community called Maple Ridge, a neighborhood so obsessively maintained it looked like step forward with better landscaping, my first instinct was to techify my new kingdom. We're talking lights that adjusted based on my Spotify playlist, a fridge that texted me when I was out of oat milk, and most importantly, a smart lock on the driveway gate. Because nothing says, "I've arrived," like a gate that opens with facial recognition and a smug smirk. The previous homeowners, bless their outdated hearts, had left the gate code as something that looked like it came from a cereal box sweepstakes, _Columbia. It was a security disaster. So one bright Saturday morning, coffee in hand and phone in the other, I decided it was time to upgrade. Changing a smart lock's code is easier than boiling water. I opened the app, tapped a few buttons, and entered a new passcode that combined my dog's birthday and the year Destiny's Child debuted. Secure. Sentimental. Hacker-proof. I was just giving myself a mental high five when I heard a voice so sharp it could julienne carrots. "What exactly do you think you're doing?" I turned and saw her Cheryl. Or, as I had already nicknamed her in my head, Tornado Cheryl. Every neighborhood has one. The one who thinks she's HOA royalty. The one who trims her rose bushes with a ruler and reports kids for walking too confidently on the sidewalk. Cheryl was tall, tan, probably spray, and terrifying. Clad in a leopard print robe and oversized sunglasses that covered 80% of her face, she stood with arms crossed like she was about to write me a citation for existing. "You're tampering with that gate. That's private property. Are you trying to break in?" I took a deep breath. "Good morning, Cheryl," I said calmly. "I live here. I'm updating the code." Her lips pursed like she had sucked on a lemon soaked in suspicion. "Live here? You? But you're not on the approved resident list." I blinked. Approved list? Was this a neighborhood or a secret society? Before I could respond, she whipped out her phone like it was a badge. "I'm calling security." And just like that, she was on the phone, her voice rising like a siren. "Yes, I'm reporting a suspicious individual at 3417 Willowcrest Lane. Tall, dark-skinned. Appears to be tampering with the gate system. Possibly armed with a phone." I was wearing cargo shorts and a Marvel vs. Capcom t-shirt, looking like the least threatening person within a 10-mile radius. I sighed and held out my ID. "Here, Cheryl. My name's Marcus Rains. This is my home. You can see the address matches." She squinted, hesitating as her mind tried to process the evidence contradicting her entire worldview. Meanwhile, the poor dispatcher on the other end was probably begging her to calm down and stop harassing the neighborhood again. Finally, Cheryl lowered her phone, her cheeks slowly turning the color of a sunburnt tomato. "Oh, I see. I just wanted to be sure. You can never be too careful these days, you know? Especially when profiling people who don't look like you," I replied with a dry smile. She muttered something about neighborhood safety and practically fled back to her house, disappearing behind a curtain of passive aggressiveness and lavender perfume. But this story doesn't end there. Oh no. See, Cheryl's crusade to protect the neighborhood had a little twist. After she stormed off, I decided to poke around the Smart Locks app, just to make sure everything was functioning. That's when I noticed something odd. A log of remote access attempts. Lots of them. All hours of the day and night. And the IP address? It traced back to Cheryl's house. I froze. Cheryl, who just accused me of breaking in, had been remotely accessing the gate system. Repeatedly. For months. Curiosity became suspicion. What was she doing? Letting in people? Spying on neighbors? Hosting secret meetings of the HOA Illuminati? I needed proof. So I did what any tech-savvy, slightly petty man would do. I installed a hidden camera. Disguised as a bird feeder, perched on my side of the fence, it blended in perfectly. I even filled it with premium birdseed. Because dignity. For several nights, nothing happened. Just squirrels committing minor crimes. Until one night, around 1:46 a.m., bingo. Cheryl crept out in a black hoodie, opened a gate, and let in a rusty white van. The van stayed for 5 minutes. Then it sped off. The best part? I had a clear shot of the license plate. A quick online search revealed the van was registered to a sketchy mobile cleaning company with a long list of complaints and connections to less than legal activities. Boom. Cheryl, the moral compass of Maple Ridge, was aiding and abetting some kind of shady operation. I had the receipts, video, logs, a digital paper trail. Time to go public. The next HOA meeting was that Tuesday. I showed up early, laptop in hand, with a smile that said revenge is served medium rare. Cheryl was already there, sipping chamomile and holding court with her clique. As the meeting dragged through talk of lawn ordinances and paint shades, somebody actually fought over eggshell versus pearl. I waited for my moment. When it came, I stood up and said, "Mr. Chair, I have a matter of security I'd like to bring to everyone's attention." Cheryl's head jerked toward me like a raptor sensing movement. I calmly laid out my case: suspicious activity, smart lock logs, late-night van visits, and the piece de resistance, the bird feeder footage. I played the video for the entire room. You could hear a mosquito sweat. Cheryl's face was frozen in shock. Her friends looked like someone had just told them brunch was illegal. "This is slander," she shrieked. "He's manipulating the footage. This is a smear campaign." I raised an eyebrow. "Then how do you explain your car being spotted near the jewelry store that was robbed last week? Same hoodie, same van. Ring any bells?" The HOA president, a retired librarian named Mr. Wallace, looked like he was about to faint. They called an emergency vote. It was unanimous. Cheryl was stripped of her HOA privileges, fined for security violations, and banned from attending community meetings for the foreseeable future. And by foreseeable, I mean eternity. Within a week, she put her house on the market. And me? I became a local legend. The guy who took down Maple Ridge's self-proclaimed queen with a bird feeder and a smart lock. They even gave me a plaque for outstanding service to neighborhood justice. I hung it next to my smart lock, which, by the way, now has a password so strong it would make the Pentagon sweat. The best part? A few days later, I found a handwritten note on my door. "Thank you for exposing Cheryl. She was a nightmare. Also, great choice in birdseed." So there you have it. A racist Karen got what was coming. A smart lock turned into a digital snitch, and a bird feeder became an unlikely tool of poetic justice. Moral of the story? Never underestimate a gadget geek with time, tech, and a fully stocked squirrel buffet. Oh, and for heaven's sake, change your gate code from _Columbia. You've been warned.